Glassboro set to defend its South Jersey Group 1 title.
This is one of the bowl games because this is live or die. If we lose, we go home. But if we win, we keep on going, and we won it.
I hear all these people talking about Glassboro this, Gloucester that. They think that we're so good. Well, guess what? We have to line up and prove that we're good. And I'm sure Gloucester feels the same way. They believe they're good too. And we're going to come out and we're just going to go bang and see what happens.
But Gloucester wants to assure that there will be a new champion crowned this year.
We got to play to win. We don't want to play not to lose. We got to play to win. We're going to be pumped up, play hard.
I just feel assured that our kids are going to go down there and play to the very best of their abilities.
It's a semifinal showdown coming up next.
There, 3rd and 7. It's Eli again, and hello.
Got with the fit, cutting it back inside, and he is hammered. Slides off one tackle, off another with the turn on his feet. Down.
About the 13.
From Marvin Slomsky Memorial Field on the campus of Glassboro High School, Comcast Cablevision presents high school football. Today, an NJSIAA semifinal between the undefeated host Bulldogs of Glassboro High School against the 7-2 Lions of Gloucester High School. Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Shryrock along with Shawn, Leary on kind of a cold and windy day at Glassboro High School. Nonetheless, a great day for a state Group 1 semifinal, Shawn, and a formidable test for Gloucester High today. They're going against a Glassboro team that has won 20 in a row and is defending Group 1 champion.
Yeah, they're an outstanding ball club. A lot has been made about their offense. They also have a very good defense. You don't become the defending Group 1 champions unless you have that combination. Glassboro's been able to keep it rolling this year, and it will be a tough task for Gloucester today.
Glassboro had a chance to be the all-time scoring kingpin by a team in South Jersey history. That forfeit to Clayton probably prevented it from doing that, but this is an awesome offense, Shawn.
An awesome offense, and let's get to that layoff that they had. Glassboro was scheduled to play Clayton 2 weeks ago. Then they get the first round bye, so this team hasn't played in 3 weeks. Talking to Leary, he asked him if that was going to be something to look for today. He said no, he's not really too concerned with it.
Okay, of course, two great coaches in this football game today, Shawn. Leon Harris of Gloucester High School and Bob Cleary of Glassboro High School. Very similar records. They both have 75% winning percentages. Cleary here 15 years, Harris 14. A great rivalry between the two, and they have a couple of great teams. Gloucester High. Gloucester High is not the team you hear much about as Glassboro, but they have a great quarterback in their own right in Greg Cox.
Yeah, they've put together an outstanding season this year, very quietly. Glassboro stole most of the headlines in the Classic Division. But Greg Cox has really emerged himself as a quality quarterback. He started the season as one of the quarterbacks working for the job. Ended up coming the end of the preseason, had a great week. He became the starter. Outstanding games he played during the earlier part of the season really led him into the starting role.
He's completed passes at a 57% rate. That's great for a high school quarterback. 11 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. But how about those stats for his counterpart in Glassboro High School, Sakeen Wright, maybe one of the most gifted athletes ever in South Jersey.
Yeah, 50 career touchdown passes. Sakeen Wright, they say he's the #1 quarterback in New Jersey. The guy really has an outstanding arm. He has a great weapon in Terrence Holmes, and if he keeps throwing the way he's throwing, he might find himself in a college Division I level playing field next year.
Kind of a scheduling quirk, Shawn, in that these same two teams meet on Thanksgiving Day at Gloucester High in a game that will determine the Tri-County Conference Classic Division Championship. So these teams playing twice in 5 days with something at stake big time both ways.
Yeah, both ways. Today obviously is the big game because it's a semifinal game. The winner was going to go on to the finals. Next week, they're both going for the Classic Division title. So these two teams get a chance to see each other 2 times in less than 5 days. It's going to be a battle today and on Thursday.
We talked to Leon Harris before the game, Shawn, and he kind of indicated he might have something up for Glassboro today. He said, don't take us too lightly. So they could give Glassboro pretty good football.
Yeah, I don't think they're intimidated whatsoever, Bob. This is a Gloucester team two years ago who was in a Group 1 final, so this team's not a stranger to big-time football.
Okay, Glassboro High School has won 3 Group 1 championships. They're defending Group 1 champions. The Gloucester High Lions have been in the playoffs many, many times. They've never won a sectional playoff. They're trying to take a step in that direction today. We'll be back with the kickoff, Glassboro and Gloucester, right after this. Gloucester High taking the opening kickoff on its own 4-yard. David Smith right up the middle and is hammered down at about the 27-yard line. NJSIAA Group 1 semifinal football from Glassboro High School. Bob Shryrock along with Shawn, Leary, and Glassboro High, the defending Group 1 champions, trying to knock off Gloucester and qualify to meet the winner of the Paulsboro-Burlington City game, also being played today. Gorgeous day for a football game, Shawn, but a wind a bit of a factor today.
Wind's a little bit of a factor, but not as much as expected. Earlier in the week, the call for the forecast was blustery and cold. They expected the wind to be about 15 to 20 miles an hour this day, but it's not that bad. I don't think we'll have too much of a problem in the passing game.
Power I formation for the Gloucester Lions. Handoff to Blankenship right up the middle, and he'll only get negligible yardage, maybe a foot and a half, something like that. That's about all the middle of the Glassboro defense. We hear all about the Glassboro offense, Shawn, but this Glassboro defense traditionally has been strong. Same thing again this year.
On offense, Gloucester has Greg Cox at quarterback. Running back is Dan Welsh and Mike Blankenship. The wide receivers are Lou Merrifield and Steve Hunsinger. Tight end Joe Lippincott. The tackles, Brian Souter and John Crestinzio. The guards, Nick Teschko, Jake Horenza. In the center is Pat Hagan.
Second down and 9, just a 1-yard pickup by Blankenship. He gets the carry again off the left side, and he's going absolutely nowhere. No gain on the play, so 2 running plays on the right side of the Glassboro defense come up with only 1 yard. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
The defensive ends you see for Glassboro is Sean Baxter and Rashawn Pruitt. The defensive tackles Greg Keith and Ed Bugard. The nose guard Keith Oswald. The linebackers are Raheem Gaines and Shamar Robinson. The corners Kevin Evans, Ralph McBride. And the safeties Jason Muse and Terrence Holmes.
And the officials timeout, probable passing down on 3rd down and 9 for quarterback Greg Cox. Cox, a good story for the Gloucester Lions, playing his first season as starting quarterback after being backup the last couple of seasons. He's a real good senior, rolling to his right, has good protection, fires it, and it is completed. A great pass and a great interception as well by Lou Merrifield on single coverage, and the advance for first down for Gloucester High down into Glassboro territory at the 43-yard line, 44-yard line. A well-thrown ball, Shawn.
Yeah, that was a nice pass. It looked like Lou Merrifield came back for the football and was able to pick up a nice 29-yard gain. There you see Cox. He has a strong arm. Very strong arm, rolling out. He really was looking for his wide receiver, Steve Hunsinger, but Merrifield wide open, not wide open in the middle field, but able to come back for the football and get the first down catch.
First down ball at the 44-yard line, straight up the middle, little running room. Breaking loose for a couple of yards, however, is Dan Welsh, the junior fullback for the Lions. His advance to about the 37-yard line. So the Lions of Gloucester High moving on their first possession as the advance is to the 37, pickup of 7, 2nd down and 7. Good job by Welsh there as he bounced off some would-be tacklers and made a nice gain.
Welsh only 5'9", 195 pounds, but a strong lower body, keeps his leg moving, and there he picks up the extra yards. It's going to be about 2nd and 3 now for Gloucester.
Handoff straight up the middle. Welsh gets no yardage. Excellent defensive play in the middle of the Glassboro line. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. The tackle on the play by Dan Haggerty. No gain. It'll be 3rd down and 3 for the Lions of Gloucester High.
There you see Dan Haggerty just stack him up at the line of scrimmage, use his weight against him, and just drag him down. Hagan unable to keep his legs moving on that particular play. Actually, that's Welsh. It's going to bring up a important 3rd down here, Bob, early in this game.
Back split behind Cox on the 3rd down and short. Let's go, Ralph. Welsh. Head up, but drives ahead off the tackle of Jason Muse. A good job, and that could bring the change in. It'll be close to a first down, the spot at about the 34-yard line. Excellent second effort by Welsh when he was hit at the line of scrimmage.
So they went back to Welsh 3 times on the Lions' possession. And there you see Welsh, his power, able to get through Muse.
And he does get the first down to the 34-yard line. So back-to-back first downs by Gloucester. They have a first down at the Glassboro High School 34-yard line just underway here in the first quarter. And he is stopped after very little yardage on a nice defensive play in the middle by Greg Keith of the Bulldogs.
That's the senior, 5'11", 210 pounds. He's one of the leaders on the line for Glassboro. Glassboro lost, you remember, Ezekiel Jenkins, Bob. He was a big presence in the middle of that Glassboro line last year. Sorely miss him this year, not so much as far as how many points Glassboro's given up, but his leadership role. Greg Keith is one of the guys who stepped up for the Bulldogs.
Gain of about a yard on the play. It'll be second down and 9, ball at the 33. Throw, fires it over the middle and is completed. So Cox 2 for 2 in the early going, and he hits Lou Merrifield for the second time. And that advanced near a first down. It'll be third down and 1 coming up. The spot at about the 25-yard line. So a good first possession by Gloucester High as they try for a third first down. 7:15 to play in the first quarter, so they wanted to keep the ball away from this vaunted Glassboro offense, and doing a good job of it here in the first possession. Motion on a third down and 1. Blankenship has the first down, driving ahead to about the 22-yard line. Third first down in the sequence by Gloucester High. And John, they look impressive so far.
Look very impressive. Right there, Welsh, you've seen him pick up the first downs on the previous possession, or the previous first down for Gloucester. There he did a nice job blocking. Raheem Gaines of Glassboro coming up in a linebacker blitz on the run. And Welsh was able to pick it up, and Blankenship goes for the first down.
45 with the clock running, so a very impressive first drive, keeping the ball mainly on the ground. But now they're going to take a timeout with 6:37 to play here in the first half. No wind showing. There was a lot of wind before the game, but the flag kind of limp right now, and the wind was coming out of the north during the pregame. We got a pretty good crowd on hand at Glassboro High School as the Bulldogs try for their 21st consecutive victory over 2 years, and also moving into the semifinals in Group 1 to play the Paulsboro-Burlington City winner, and a chance for Glassboro for the first time in its history to have back-to-back group championships.
There you see Glassboro this year, 48.2 points per game. The defense only allowing 9.6. They lead the all-time series 19-4. Last year they won this game, not this game, the regular season game, 37-0. Glassboro, a different team that last year. I think they had a little bit better of a defense, and Gloucester, admittedly, a different team this year. Leon Harris not expecting the success that they've had, and very surprised. Has taken them to a Group 1 semifinal game.
First down carry, yard or two for Blankenship right up the middle. So it'll be second down and 9 after the 1-yard pickup. And the spot right at the 20-yard line. So Herb Nealio, the defensive coordinator for Glassboro High School, is just in the huddle trying to get his defense to regroup a little bit. He, of course, is considered one of the best defensive coaches in all of South Jersey. Bob Curry gets him a great deal of credit for the work he does with the Glassboro defense. Second and 9. Ball count. Blankenship turns it back inside and gets a yard or two. That's about all. Good job inside by the interior of the Glassboro defense as the first tackle is made by Keith Oswald, a junior, playing in the nose guard position for the Bulldogs. Pick up on the play of about 4, so it'll be a third down and 5. The only possession of the game so far is Gloucester's. 5:35 to play in the first quarter. They've done a good job of keeping the ball away from the Glassboro offense. Wide receivers split to either side. Single back set behind Cox on the third down and 5. Back Pocket throw, fires it over the middle again, and it's completed again. And again, the receiver for the third time on this drive, Lou Merrifield, and another first down. And this has been a wonderfully impressive drive so far for the Lions of Gloucester High, Shawn.
Yeah, the same play. They used the same play they used to pick up a first down earlier, going against Kevin Evans on the left-hand side. It's a quick in, 5 yards and in, and then Merrifield, with his ability to pick up the extra yardage, gets the first down. So far, a nice play calling by Leon Harris.
First and goal, the ball at the 6-yard line. Good job. He's near the goal line, down to about the 1. Excellent run by the number 1 ball carrier this season for the Lions, Michael Blankenship. He's a junior, and he is near the goal line to spot it right about the 1-yard line. So it's second down and goal for the Lions.
Nice job by the ref to come in there. Side judge marked down where his knee came down. He was not able to get the ball across because his knee was down.
The Lions with 3 shots here from the 1-yard line. Second down and goal. Blankenship turns it back inside and waltzes almost untouched into the end zone to make it look easy. A 1-yard touchdown run for Mike Blankenship. The touchdown coming at 4:16 of the first period. Most impressive drive, 7 minutes and 44 seconds. The Lions score the first touchdown of the game, and God, it made it look kind of easy.
Yeah, they just ran the ball right down Glassboro's throats. A couple of nice passes. Got to be impressed with the play of Greg Cox on the first drive. 3 for 3, able to hook up with Lou Merrifield. And then the nice job by John Crescenzio and Jake Horenza blocking on that left-hand side to spring Merrifield for the touchdown. Actually, that was Blankenship for the touchdown.
And here's Horenza trying to make it 7-0. Good snap. Gets the kick up, and it's wide left, no good. So at 4:16 mark of the first period, a bit surprisingly, at least to the Glassboro fans, it's 6-0 Gloucester.
We're going to take a look at this touchdown. John Crescenzio and Jake Horenza are going to open up the hole for Blankenship, and he's able to just really waltz right into the end zone. A nice hole, nice job by Gloucester on their opening drive, running the football, mixing in the pass. And that's what they're going to need to do today. Glassboro is going to get their points. Gloucester has a very nice defense, but I don't think they're going to be able to stop Glassboro's offense today. They're going to need to score, and they look very impressive on their first drive.
Kind of a quiet Glassboro stand so far in this early going here in the first period. And one of the things Gloucester wanted to do in this football game was to control the football, keep it on the ground as much as possible, and keep the ball away from the Glassboro offense, which many consider the best in South Jersey, and that's exactly what they did. And mixed in among all those running plays, Shawn, 3 for 3 completions for Cox. Don't overlook that. He had a great series.
Cox comes into the game 58 for 101 for 824 yards on the year. Completion percentage of 57%. 11 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, Bob. So Cox has done the job throughout the year, and it's reflected in the Bulldogs' win column.
Blankenship with a short kickoff. And it'll be down to, actually, it's a pretty effective kickoff as it turns out, because it'll be down at about the 24-yard line. Didn't get much distance, but no run back on the play. And the Bulldogs of Glassboro High School will have their first possession with some of the most gifted, skilled players in all of South Jersey, led by their great senior quarterback, Sakeen Wright.
And you see Bob Cleary, what a record he's compiled along with Harris. We talked about how similar the two coaches are. Bob Cleary is really instituted an excellent program here at Glassboro High School, and tremendous winning tradition.
Right at the controls for the Bulldogs on a first down and 10. A big hole. Oh, what a tackle. A head-up tackle by Desmond Chiotti of Gloucester High, but a nice pickoff nonetheless for Keith Evans. And he advanced to the 29-yard line. Pick up on the play of about 7, second down and 3. What a hit.
Here you see the Glassboro offense led by Sakeen Wright, the quarterback. Kevin Evans taking over for Julian Worley at running back. Chris Waters, the fullback. Matanuco and Terrence Holmes, the wide receivers, with Sean Pruitt, the tight end. Ed Bugard and Jason Rolando, the tackles.
Evans, big hole again. Evans into the clear and almost beats the tackle for a huge gain, but Merrifield saved what could have been a more damaging run by Evans. Nonetheless, first down carry. Back-to-back carries by Evans gets Glassboro in Gloucester territory, or actually just a yard shy of midfield. It's first down and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Kevin Evans, you see his explosiveness. He's really filled in nicely. I mean, last year he was also a very important back in that Glassboro offense.
Right, chased out of the pocket, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. Still on his feet somehow. Still on his feet. Amazing job by Wright. Unbelievable. Then the ball is dropped. What a play by Wright. And then the ball is dropped in the open by Darren Lewis. That was an incredible job of eluding tacklers by Wright just to get the pass off. He had a man wide open, and he couldn't catch the football.
There's the Gloucester defense. Defensive ends Rob Keefe and Chad Zierfrost. The tackles are Pat Hagan and Joe Hartzell. The linebackers Desmond Chiotti made the big hit. John Rutan, Dan Welsh, John Costenzio. Cornerbacks are Lou Merrifield and Nigel Rogers. And the safety is David Smith.
What escapability that time by Wright. That's an amazing play, even though it's incompleted pass.
There's 10 lines that actually touched him on that run.
Evans. Good job by Evans. The advance across the 45 to about the 43.
Here, let's take a look at this previous play. Sakeen Wright's going to roll out. This was a design quarterback draw. They wanted him to pick up some yardage and, more importantly, the first down. You see the lines. One thing you have to do with Sakeen Wright is stay home, fill the lanes, because he's going to escape a couple of blocks throughout the game, and that's when he makes big plays.
3rd down and 2, ball at the 43-yard line. Evans with some good runs here on the first Glassboro possession. Right back to throw, good protection, but he has to run out of the pocket. Again, escaping tacklers, driving ahead, and might be a little bit short of the first down. He's very close to a first down at about the 41-yard line. And we'll see if they bring the chains in, and they will, to measure this one on a close 3rd down call here. The referee today with a good crew is Jim Winterberg. We've had him before on Comcast football games. The off atmosphere here at Glassboro High School. The parents of the Glassboro players were introduced before the game today on Parents' Day. I want to correct something we said in the, or I said in the pregame, by the way, with Shawn, talking about that Thanksgiving game. This is really close. Boy, it looks like an inch. I mean an inch, and it is. So I'm sure Glassboro will go for this one. Probably just have Wright keep it, but apparently Leon Harris, the Gloucester High coach, and Bob Cleary, the Glassboro coach, agreed, gentlemen's agreement, to play Saturday instead of Thanksgiving Day if one of them got into the playoffs, which obviously is the case. One of these teams will advance. So instead of playing 2 games in 5 days, it will play next Saturday at Gloucester High School, and that game will decide the Tri-County Conference Classic Division Championship.
I think right here you just take Sakeen Wright. He's 6'3", 215 pounds, one of the bigger players on Glassboro's team. Just give the ball to him and let him pick up the first down.
And this will be a ball foul. Also that will give Glassboro the first down.
Dead ball, defense, offsides, first down.
That'll advance the chains in Glassboro High School's favor inside the 40-yard line. They'll spot it at the 36. First down and 10. 2:12 to play first quarter. It is 6-0 Gloucester. Gloucester taking the opening kickoff, and with a tremendously long drive, takes it all the way down. 1-yard run by Blankenship for the touchdown. And that's where we stand 6-0, and Glassboro trying to answer.
Watch Terrence Holmes here on first down. I think Glassboro wants to try to get him involved early in the game.
Evans darting inside, breaking tackle. Good run again by Evans, who's having a big drive. 4 good carries so far in this drive by Kevin Evans. Great senior leader on this ball club. Hasn't gotten as many headlines as Wright and Holmes, but he's a terrific player in his own right.
Oh, he sure is. He has outstanding ability to see the entire field. He runs upright and makes sure that he uses his blockers, sees the field, and uses his cuts effectively. And you've seen it's worked for him so far here. Now, this is a good play, Bob, to go to Terrence Holmes, one of the outside receivers. With a short second down, he might go long.
Right, flips it over, and it's dropped. Another drop pass. This one by Chris Waters. Very catchable ball, so that'll bring up a 3rd down and a long one, about 1.5 yards for the Bulldogs. Minute now to play first quarter.
The Bulldogs receivers are dropping Sakeen Wright's passing efficiency rating, Bob, that Chug Mangini was so generous to give us all the stats. We want to thank him, and along with Kazanewski, which I'm messing up his name, but outstanding job by those 2 gentlemen to help us out with the statistics.
Excellent statistical output for us for this football game. 3rd down and about 1.5 yards. right at the controls. Pitch to Evans, halfback pass coming up, but nobody open, and it's intercepted. Tipped and intercepted. Merrifield with the interception for Gloucester up the left sideline, still on his feet, breaking tackles. Look at this run by Merrifield, and he's finally thrown down on a hard tackle by Wright, but Gloucester High read that halfback pass perfectly and had triple coverage on the receiver. So.
Yeah, really. Terrence Holmes was the only guy actually out there for Glassboro. They read it well, able to come up with an interception after it was tipped. That was Lou Merrifield on the interception, but here it's straight designed, and he sells it too soon. You can see right here he's going for the quarterback, or the halfback option. You see all three Gloucester lines just waiting there, and then a wall. Nice job by Merrifield on the return. So Glassboro seem to be driving on Gloucester, but Gloucester getting the ball back here, another score would be very big for the Lions early in the game.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line. Cox with the handoff. Blankenship with the run. Blankenship's had a good first half with the touchdown. Big game so far by Merrifield. He caught 3 passes on the touchdown drive, now with the interception. John, you have to wonder, we're concerned now about a Gloucester player down on the field. We'll take time out, but you have to wonder whether the long layoff, particularly at this time of season, might be hurting Glassboro High School. Look just a little bit rusty so far, both offensively and defensively. Of course, they had the forfeit with Clayton. Then the following week, they have a bye in the first round of the playoffs. A long time for a high school team to take off at this time of the season.
Sure, the only time you want to take off that many weeks in a year is if you have some injuries, and Glassboro has been pretty healthy throughout the year. The only person they were able to get back for this game that was injured was Shamar Robinson, the linebacker for the Bulldogs, who's already had a nice game. There you see Joe Lippincott. He's down. He's the tight end for Gloucester. Anytime you have a 3-week layoff in high school, there's so many things that go into that game. The kids haven't been really hitting anybody in a game situation. The timing gets off a little bit. And there's only so much you can do in practice, and we might see a little rust here from Glassboro.
The other factor there with Glassboro too, and I guess you're reaching because they've had such a tremendous season, but they had a couple of tough games early. After that easy win over Henry Hudson, they came from behind to beat Kingsway. Kingsway gave them a tough game, tied at halftime. 49-21, they wound up beating the Dragons. Then a tough win over Potomac, Maryland, 20-14. But since then, they ripped 4 opponents, scoring 60, 49, 63, and 49 points without being really tested. Shawn, you just wonder, being in a tough game with Gloucester like this, where that could be a factor too.
Yeah, and I think that's what, when we talked to Leanne Harris before the game, I'm sure that's what's going through his mind. Gloucester's able to play teams like Gloucester Catholic, the Hun School from Delaware, so they've had a couple of good opponents in the last month. So Gloucester may be a little bit ready for this game. I'm sure Glassboro came in here emotionally ready for the game, but maybe not physically prepared for Gloucester, at least in the early going.
Pick up to 3, second down and 7. Lippincott walked off under his own power. Cox with a quick out pass and a nice completion to Blankenship, knocked out of bounds by Jaron Moose. However, a first down pickup, and I am impressed so far with the game plan for Gloucester High.
Yeah, that was Londino, number 22. Vince Londino, 5'8", 165. He's a sophomore. They really like him. Came in this year and really done a nice job for the Lions. Mike Blankenship isn't the type of back who's going to be your typical Gloucester back, carry the ball 20, 30 times during a game, because he just doesn't have the body for it. So they bring in Londino, and he's really put a nice 1-2 punch together with Blankenship.
Ball at the 48-yard line, first down and 10. Right up the middle goes Welsh, breaks tackles into the clear. Look at this job by Welsh. He was hit about a yard beyond the line of scrimmage and winds up making a tremendous gain out of it down to the 36-yard line of Glassboro. So it's all Gloucester High here in the first period with 10 seconds to go. That could have been the final play of the first quarter.
Nice job by Dan Welsh. He's been very effective for Gloucester in the early going. Pickups of 7, a 4-yarder for a first down, and now a big 15-yard run.
That'll do it for the first quarter from Glassboro High School. Bit of a surprise. It's Gloucester 6 and Glassboro nothing. Shawn Leary and Bob Shryrock at Glassboro High School. First and 10 for Gloucester at the Glassboro 36-yard line as we begin second period play. 6-0 for the Lions. Blankenship drags a tackler with him for decent yardage. The tackle on the play by Raheem Gaines of Glassboro High School. And a pickup on about 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Lions. And a spot at about the 32-yard line.
So far, Gloucester's been able to do most of their running up through the middle of the Glassboro line. Blankenship not having great success, although he's picked up some nice first downs in the touchdown carry. But Dan Welsh has been very effective going straight up the middle on Bulldogs' interior line.
A little gadget play here. Cox unloads it, and he just threw the ball up for grabs, and that was a mistake. The interception by Terrence Holmes, but not a good decision on that play. That ball was just thrown up for grabs, and Holmes picks it off.
So far, both gadget plays have not worked. Indecision plays by Kevin Evans for Glassboro. This time, Greg Cox. He should have just threw the ball away. That's a mistake you don't want to make in a big game like this. Against Glassboro, if you have the ball in their territory and the way they can score, you want to try and take advantage as much as possible. And to throw that ball up there, I think Cox would have loved to have that ball back and just thrown it away. I'm sure Leon Harris would feel the same way.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 15. So the first catch of the day by Terrence Holmes, who many consider the best receiver in South Jersey, is an interception. 1st down and 10 for the Bulldogs. They trail at 6-0, but that was a big turnover in Glassboro's favor. And they'll start from their own 15.
Yeah, I'm thinking that.
Ball is fumbled and it's loose. Wright trying to fall on it. He is able to cover. And we talked about the potential rust on the Glassboro offense, and it's showing a little bit here so far.
Especially on a fumbled snap. That's
something you don't normally see at this time of season. Loss of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 12. 10:50 to play in the first half, and Gloucester High has dominated. Only 6-0. They have controlled the football. Right. Holmes, 1-on-1 in the open, and hit by 3 different defenders. A completion, first one for Wright, but the first tackler for Gloucester was Lou Merrifield, who's really had a terrific first half.
You see Mark Rosario in on the tackle, and one thing Leon Harris and this Gloucester defense wants to do is to make sure that 2 people are around Terrence Holmes at all times. They don't want to get him in a one-on-one situation on the outside. He has outstanding moves and also great speed. He usually makes a lot of his yards after the catch.
Holmes got 5 in the play. It's 3rd down and 7 for the Bulldogs. Right to throw. Chased out of the pocket. Dancing around again. And he looked like he stepped out of bounds, but didn't. Now he's finally knocked out of bounds on a good defensive play by Gloucester's Dan Welsh. So the Bulldogs will be forced to punt, and you got to credit the Gloucester defense. You know, they've done a really good job of coverage in the secondary, Shawn, and that's why Wright is doing all this scrambling.
Yeah, they want to make sure that Holmes, Muse, Waters coming out of the backfield along with Evans don't pick up the big chunks of yardage after they catch the football, and they're doing a nice job downfield. They think their line can handle Glassboro's line up front. I guess that's why Harris was smiling before the game, saying these guys don't intimidate us. We can play with them.
Yuko is the punter for Glassboro High School. Good snap. High punt, short punt. And smartly the Gloucester receiver moves away from the football. So the Lions again will have excellent field position starting from the Glassboro 43-yard line. 9:43 to play, first half. And this vaunted Glassboro High School offense, which is averaging, as Shawn indicated, almost 49 points a game, is 0 so far. So it's 1st and 10, ball at the 43-yard line. Greg Cox doing a good job at quarterback in the first half for the Lions. Blankenship breaks one tackle, almost breaks it all the way. He's finally hauled down from behind by Charles Harvey. Glassboro, Shawn, I think it's safe to say, is not doing a great job of tackling so far.
Not a great job of tackling, but you do have to give credit to some of the linemen. John Crescenzio doing a nice job there, also springing Blankenship. We've already mentioned his name a couple of times. And that's what you really need to have if you're Gloucester. You want to eat up this clock, get the running game established, and try to keep Sakine right on the sideline. They've been able to do that this far.
First down pickup of 10 yards. It'll be first down and 10 ball at the 32-yard line. The draw to Blankenship. Sidesteps. The ball is loose. We'll unpile to see who has it. And Glassboro High School comes up with its second takeaway here in the first half. Blankenship had some good yardage, but then coughed it up, and it'll be Glassboro ball. So Gloucester's been running the ball well, but they've had 2 turnovers here so far in the second quarter.
One thing Bob Cleary mentioned to us, that mistakes are going to be the outcome, the deciding outcome of this game. The team who takes advantage of the most mistakes by either team is going to win the game. Obviously, in the turnover category, you usually see that in a football game. The one who makes the most mistakes usually loses.
Straight ahead, some yardage for Chris Waters. Waters gets the ball up to about the 35-yard line. Pickup of just about 2 on the play. It'll be second down and 8. So although Evans has had some good runs here in the first half, the Bulldogs, which break a lot of long plays, have not had one of those so far here in the first half.
I think if you're Glassboro, you really got to keep reminding these guys to stay patient. They're not facing, my apologies to teams like Shryrock and those guys. They're not facing teams like this. This Gloucester defense is very good.
Evans getting to the corner, but gets a lot of pursuit. Still on his feet, breaking away. What a great second effort run by Kevin Evans. Evans has run the ball well here in the first half, and he nearly breaks it for a first down. Looks like it'll be the first down. It's very close. Probably short of a first down by less than a yard. The advance to the 41-yard line. It'll be third down and about a yard.
Let's take a look at that play as Evans trying to sweep to the outside and gain some running room. And a nice job. You see these Glassboro runners, how they keep their legs moving. And once you do that, you always have a chance to break out of a tackle. And there you see Evans breaking a couple tackles and picking up the extra yardage.
And Evans gets the first down carry plus to the 46-yard line. So Evans has been the story of the Glassboro offense here in the first half. 7:41 to play. And Gloucester High clinging to a 6-0 lead. The Bulldogs trying to come up with their first score after their second turnover.
Bob, if you're a coach, if you're Cleary on the sideline, you got to love that from Evans. He's the one that's able to put you in the third and short situation as opposed to third and long. You're able to do a little bit more with that. Just the type of play you need in a Group 1 semifinal.
An unheralded player, but not unheralded as far as Glasgow is concerned. So they flip it out to Waters. Waters breaks one tackle, but not the second one, as he is smashed by Welsh in a great tackle. That play will lose yardage, about 5. Gloucester High obviously has scouted Glassboro very well, Shawn. They've read out their gimmick plays very well.
And that's something right there they like to use, that fake screen to the left and then go back to the right with the fullback, Chris Waters. He's done a nice job out of the backfield. A couple of catches for 103 yards, 17.2 yards in average, and also 2 touchdowns. But a nice job by Pat Hagan to come up, sniff that out, and really disrupt the play, and then Dan Welsh was able to come and clean it up.
Second and 15, right, straight drop back pass, has good protection, fires it, and it's caught. Great catch by Holmes, and breaking tackles there. You see the gifted ability of Terrence Holmes, the favorite receiver of Wright. That was not an easy ball to catch, but he made a great play on the catch.
Not an easy ball to catch at all. But one thing he does is he concentrates on the football, makes sure he's got it in his hands, and then he tries to do something after it. But he makes sure that he catches the football. And there you see his outstanding athletic ability by it. This guy jumps over a guy, tries to pick up the extra yardage. Those are the type of plays that he breaks for long yardages and touchdowns.
31-yard pickup to the 28-yard line. Wright takes the handoff, chased out of the pocket. Wright. And Wright diving ahead, makes good yardage out of the play. Shaquem Wright, of course, also a great runner. You don't hear as much about that because of his rather incredible passing statistics. 50 touchdown passes in 2 seasons, 3,049 yards, 149 for 275. Those are NFL statistics. You don't usually see those statistics with high school quarterbacks.
And his NCAA formulated efficiency rating, according to Chug, is 233.1, NFL 131.5.
Chug Mangini doing that great job with stats as always. It's first down and 10 as Wright scrambles for the first down. Ball at the 18. Evans cutting it back inside. Evans, good run. Knocked down a couple of tacklers for Gloucester, led by Vince Londino. And a good pickup, but this one may come back. This is going to be a penalty. Is this our first penalty in the football game, Shawn?
We had an offsides earlier on Gloucester, but this is the first penalty on Glassboro. It's an illegal motion by the Bulldogs.
Well, with 5:16 to play in the second quarter, only 2 penalties. That's kind of amazing.
Second down.
Accidentally saying second down. It's first down at 15.
So the 5-yard step off takes it back to the 23-yard line. First and 15. 5:16 to play in the half. 6-0 Gloucester High. Semifinals in JSIAA South Jersey Group 1. Burlington City and Paulsboro playing in the other half of the bracket. And both Paulsboro and Glassboro had first-round byes to get to the semifinal game.
Glassboro beat Woodbury, another Colonial Conference team, last year on this field in the semifinal round, 21-7.
Wright sees an opening. He'll take off. And that's a good open field tackle. Tremendous open field tackle, Shawn, by Vince Londino, or that play would have gone for a lot more yardage.
I already told you, they really like this sophomore. He's a good one. He does a nice job on both sides of the ball. Not a starter, but comes in. He fills in nicely for Blankenship on offense. Here you see his ability on defense. A short tackler, make sure he wraps up. Not a very big guy, but nonetheless a good football player.
Got the 5 back to the 18, but it's second down and 10 for the Bulldogs with 4:47 left in the half. The wide receiver split to the near side, single coverage. Wright fires it over the middle and just not a good pass. Got some pressure. The intended receiver was Chris Waters, but not a good pass by Shaquem that time.
And he was looking for number 2. That's Darren Lewis, the junior, 6'2". You look at these Glassboro receivers. These guys all have size. Jerron Muse, 6'2". Darren Lewis is 6'2", and Terrence Holmes also standing at 6'2". So these guys are big targets for Shaquem Wright.
Third down and 10. The Bulldogs made a big play. Ball at the 18-yard line. Holmes again split to the near side. Single coverage with Merrifield. And this is going to be a dead ball foul, apparently against the Glassboro, which again is showing a little rust in his engine.
Dead ball, false start, offense.
So they're back up 5 more, and that'll be third down and 15, back to the 23 again.
We're used to seeing Glassboro put up big numbers, 49, 47. Still looking for their first points in the game, Bob. Only 4:37 left before halftime. They don't want to leave this drive with no points.
Their lowest scoring game of the season was Potomac, Maryland. It was 20-14 victory for the Bulldogs. Right, straight back to throw, pretty good protection. Looking for Holmes, but good coverage, double coverage on Holmes, Merrifield, and David Smith. And that'll bring up a 4th down and 15 for the Bulldogs. I'm impressed with the defensive secondary coverage so far by the Lions, Shawn. The one completion to Holmes was just a great athletic play by Holmes.
They want everything underneath. They don't want any of the Glassboro wide receivers to get behind them, and that's what they're doing. They're making sure that they put sag in their defense. Gloucester wants to make a catch, they're going to do something underneath. Gloucester has to just come hard and make some big hits and try to jar footballs loose. A nice game plan so far here by Gloucester.
A big play, 4th down and 15. The Bulldogs need to pull one out of the playbook here on a 4th and long call. Right to throw. Good protection. Right, going to run the football. Takes on, and he will be short of the first down, so that'll turn the ball over to the Lions. And again, the key to that play was excellent deep secondary coverage by Gloucester High.
They're just not giving them anything to throw to. Gloucester just making sure that they sag the defense back, manning up the Glassboro receivers, and so far doing the job.
You know, we talked to Ron Harris, you and I, Shawn, before the game, and I asked a question that he took it to mean that I thought this was going to be a gimme for Glassboro High School, which I didn't really mean, but he had a kind of a smile on his face, which indicated to me they were ready to play this football game, and they certainly are. First down and 10 for the Lions. Nice defensive stop by Gloucester. The ball is loose, but Cox falls right on it and is covered quickly on the play by Charles Harvey. Loss on a play of 2. It'll be second down and 12. Dangerous spot on the field by Gloucester.
You see, he's going to come up with this, but as he's thinking where to hand it off, just has to drop on the football as it came popping up right out of his hands. Nice awareness to just jump on the football and make sure he doesn't turn it over deep in his territory.
3:50 to go with the clock running. I'm sure Gloucester High now would be displeased to get out of this first half leading 6-0. They'd like to get another first down so they can control the ball into the half. Big hit that knocks Blankenship down. He gets a couple of yards. Pick up about 3. It'll be third down and 9 for the Lions. The ball at the 14-yard line. And of course, what Glassboro wants to do here is force the punt and have one more chance to score before halftime. This is a very rapidly played game because most everything has been on the ground and there have been very few penalties. So it's been a crisply played game and a very fast-paced game.
I think that's more to Gloucester's liking. I think their game plan was to speed this game up, use the ground game. If you have to say it, so far Leon Harris has his game plan working, and Bob Cleary is going to have to make some adjustments at halftime.
And Glassboro decides to use a timeout and stop the clock with 3:03 to play in the first half. We'll take timeout from Glassboro High School at 6-0 Gloucester. Big third down and 9 play for the Glassboro defense. Going to force a Lion punt, get the ball back before halftime. Chance to Tyler go ahead. Cox to throw, pretty good protection. Looking for Merrifield, and it's knocked away, and a nice job by great two-way player Kevin Evans. So that will force the Lion punt and give Glassboro an opportunity to get one on the board here before halftime with 2:57 to play. Nice stop that time by the Bulldog defense.
Nice stop. I'm impressed with Greg Cox. He really put that football where only his receiver could make the catch, and all Kevin Evans could do was really push that ball out of his hands. And a nice job by Cox so far. Just the one indecision on the one interception that he had. Maybe he should have thrown that ball away, but so far, game plan's working. Cox is passing efficiently, and Blankenship and Welsh are doing the job.
Merrifield does everything for this Gloucester team. He's punting. Great high spiraling punt by Merrifield. Taken by Holmes at the 45-yard line. Holmes looking for some running room, gets to the outside and then knocked down on a tremendous tackle in the open field.
That looked like Londino again. Either Londino or number 32, Joe Lope. That's Joe Lope. 5'10", 150. The junior coming up making a nice tackle on Sakeen Wright.
Well, they're making some terrific stops, these Gloucester defenders and open field tackles that are preventing longer gains. But Glassboro with possession inside Gloucester territory at the 46-yard line. They have plenty of time, 2:44 to go, and great weapons to work with Wright and Evans and Holmes and fine offensive line as well. But let's see how they play it here.
I think they got to use Kevin Evans more. He's been very effective in this first half. Go with the hot hand.
Wright fires it. Oh, a gun. What a gun. Wright showed that time. There you saw Sakeen Wright's arm on a tremendous throw and a catch by Evans. And the advance to the 25-yard line, pick up on the play of 22 yards for a first down.
You also see Kevin Evans' versatility coming over the middle and having that ball go right into his gut. He had no option. He had to catch that ball. It stuck right into his hands, right into his chest.
That was a rocket by Wright. First down and 10, ball at the 25. 2:20 with the clock running.
Good shot, man.
gets a rush and hits his man in the open, Evans again, and that'll be first down yardage down to about the 10. First down carry again for 15 yards this time to the 10-yard line. It'll be first down.
Kevin Evans now, that's his 17th catch on the year. Close to 400 yards and 4 touchdowns to go with his 500 yards coming into this game on the ground. Very versatile back for Glassboro, is number 2 on the team in receptions.
The spot just beyond the 10-yard line, so they can get a first down just inside the 1. First down and 10. The clock running, 1:45, so they have to be wary of the clock. Evans, who's doing everything, still on his feet. Evans getting to the outside. He will waltz. Is he in? And he scores. So that was the Kevin Evans show on that drive. 2 catches from right, then the 11-yard touchdown run at 1:34, and we are tied at 6.
Nice job by Ed Bugard and Isaac Chapman on the left-hand side of that line. He's really like Mike Blankenship's touchdown run in the first quarter. Glassboro doing the same thing as Kevin Evans waltzing into the end zone after 2 nice blocks on the left-hand side of that line to spring him into the end zone.
And now Holmes, one of the most proficient extra-point kickers in South Jersey, drills it, and it's no good. He's made 37 for 43 in the season before that one. Now he's 37 for 44, and we are deadlocked at 6.
You're going to see the touchdown run. Nice job blocking down by the left guard and left tackle for Glassboro. Evans able to shed a blocker and use his blocker efficiently on the outside and get into the end zone. And that's his 10th, actually his 10th touchdown of the year on the ground for Kevin Evans, and a big one.
The most impressive offensive player for Glassboro High School today, at least at the skill positions, has been Evans, as he scores from 11-yard line, and we are tied at 6. So we got a good one. We thought it was going to be a good football game, but Gloucester has given Glassboro everything it can handle here in the first half. Finally, the Glassboro defense with a good stop, forcing the punt that got possession for Glassboro inside midfield. Then quickly downfield, a couple of strikes from right to Evans, and Evans' 11-yard touchdown run.
That's why when you talk about how big those turnovers were for Gloucester, the interception, when you're in Glassboro territory, you can't have, because Glassboro is going to get its points. They're able to tie the game up just like that after you pretty much dominated the entire half.
Holmes kicking off. High kick taken at about the 20-yard line by Merrifield. And Merrifield is knocked down. Good coverage downfield on the special teams by the Bulldogs. Keith Oswald leading the special teams players downfield to make the initial hit. And it's first down and 10. It'll be interesting to see how Leon Harris, a former quarterback and a great one at Gloucester High, will play this one, Shawn. They've had a great first half. Do they want to risk an interception that would give Glassboro 1 before halftime, or just keep it on the ground and be happy to get to the locker room tied at 6?
Well, I think they want to be aggressive here. I mean, Greg Cox has shown that he's got a nice ability to complete passes, so why not go to him?
Now they're going to keep it on the ground, and look at this run, and almost a...
That's Londino.
Londino with the carry number 22, and we've called his name both offensively and defensively often here in the first half. Good-looking sophomore. His advance to the 39 for a first down, so maybe they will throw it now as they emerge from deep in their own territory. But 1:12 to go, clock running.
They still have 2 timeouts left. Not getting to the line in a hurry with the clock still running and just over a minute in this game, in a halftime.
2 receivers to the near side, Merrifield and Hunsinger. And Cox rolling. Cox fires it over the middle, and it's completed. A strike to about the 48-yard line to Hunsinger. I like his arm. We got 2 quarterbacks with rifle arms in this game.
Finally calling a timeout, but they let about 10 to 15 seconds go, probably about 10 seconds go before they call the timeout.
You know, I have a feeling that they'll talk about this at halftime, that Leon Harris thinks they can throw in this Glassboro defense, and Cox has shown that ability here in the first half, so maybe we'll see him go deep here in these last 40 seconds. First and 10, the ball at the 48-yard line. Glassboro, of course, with a first-round bye in the NJSIAA playoffs, did not play last week after not playing the previous week because of the forfeit win over Clayton. Gloucester High prepped for this one with a romp over Salem, 47-6. Gloucester High has never won in the group playoffs. Glassboro won a year ago. Before that, they had won in 1987, beating Paulsboro in the finals. They won in 1983, beating Audubon in the championship game, and also won in 81 and 75. So 5 championships altogether for the Glassboro High School Bulldogs. First and 10, ball at the 48-yard line. Keeping on the ground kind of curiously here because they don't get a whole lot of yardage and they're running out of time and the clock running. And the ball is loose.
The ball's loose, but I don't know if they're going to call it down by contact. I believe they are. We're going to say down by contact.
It has a ball, but not the case. Lining up quickly is Gloucester. Clock running. Quick out pass, and Merrifield with the catch steps out of bounds. They still have 19 seconds. I would go deep in this situation, John. Shawn, he certainly has the arm to do it, and he has the receivers. I don't see what they've got to lose in this situation from this position on the field.
Harris is a coach that's really gained a great reputation through the years, but really don't like how he's been able to call this last drive. He's wasted a lot of time. Poor clock management by the Lions. I think they could have wasted about 20 seconds.
42 at the first down and 10. Cox rolling. Chased out of the pocket. And this won't get them much. It'll get them a couple yards inside the 40, but 10 seconds to go, and they will call another timeout. This should be their final timeout of the first half. 7 seconds to go, so they do have one. They do have one chance here to go deep, and a good position in the field to do that.
They give themselves the chance, but I think if they wasted about 20 seconds, which is at least 2 plays, would have given them 2 plays. Now they have basically 1 play with 7 seconds left.
Unlikely they can get 2 plays off. Outside possibility of 2.
And the way Cox has been able to throw the ball in this first half, I think you got to give him the chance. You know, he made the one mistake. However, he's a senior. This guy knows what he's been doing. He's been watching Harry Thomas for the last few years. When you're on the sidelines watching an experienced quarterback and a good quarterback like Harry Thomas, kind of get the feel of game time situations, and you think about what would I do in this situation, or what would I do in that situation. When you have a guy like that and he's a senior, I think you give him the football and give him the chance. Say, here you go, kid. Win me a football game. Try to get me another 6 points on the board before halftime.
Well, we might see here how far Cox can throw it in the air. Ball at the 39-yard line. 7 seconds to go in the half. Yeah, he doesn't go deep. It's almost intercepted. That could have been 6 the other way. Ball is knocked down by Jared Moose with still 2 seconds to go, but it looked like he had a wide open field, Shawn.
Yeah, and he was just trying to go for the quick out there, and I'm not sure why they're not trying to go for the end zone. Even if he does catch the ball there, time I think might have expired with him still being inbounds.
Yeah, they're much better at throwing it down the middle of the field, I think, in that situation, rather than risk the interception and the sideline touchdown run, and that could have been that situation. So 2 seconds to go in the half will be the final play of the first half unless there is a defensive penalty.
And big Steve Hunsinger, 6'4", out on the left-hand side of the field.
Cox to throw, and it's intercepted, and it was the same play. Moose down the sideline, 1 man to beat. Needs a block in the open field. Is Moose. Moose trying to go all the way, and he won't do it. Unbelievable. There is an unbelievable sequence, Shawn Leary. The same play twice in a row. The first one looked like it would go. This one almost went. How lucky is Gloucester in this situation?
I just can't believe you're throwing through the sideline. Second place in this situation.
Wow.
I'm very curious as to what the thinking was of trying to throw on the sidelines and trying to complete passes. That wouldn't have helped you anyway.
Let's look at this play again. This is amazing.
And especially with Muse sitting back there, he's able to read
read the eyes of Cox and also
it's identical play.
Merrifield. He's going to look to try and get into the middle of the field. I'm curious here as to why maybe he didn't think about pitching it back once he seen that he was going to be tackled in the middle of the field. It looks like he might have ran out of some steam. Nice job coming in the back.
Gloucester dodges a bullet. They get the halftime tie. What a first half of the football game. It's 6-6 Gloucester and Glassboro. We'll be back with the second half after this. Second half football from Marv Slomsky Field in Glassboro. The Bulldogs and the Lions of Gloucester High tied at 6 in the semifinals of NJSIAA Group 1. Bit of a surprise. Glassboro heavily favored in this one by all the prognosticators in the region. But Gloucester High with a tremendous first half. A late touchdown by Glassboro on Evans' 11-yard run gets it even at 6. Glassboro will receive the second half kickoff. Kicking off for Gloucester High, Mike Blankenship. And we are underway. Short kick. Taken at about the 20-yard line by Evans. Evans trying to get to the outside, gets good pursuit. Nice job of dodging for a couple of extra yards. The advance to the 25. So Glassboro taking over at its own 25-yard line. And let's see if Bob Cleary's halftime speech inspired the Bulldogs to get back on track offensively.
One person who I want to look to is Kevin Evans. Kevin Evans, so far in the game, 76 rushing yards. Also mixed in a 15-yard pass completion and a 21-yard pass completion to go along with that 11-yard rushing touchdown.
Big first half numbers for one of the real fine players in the area, Kevin Evans. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs as we begin second half action.
Right, Colin Waters to go back to the left.
Evans with the carry, gets coupled, not much. Covered nicely, leading the tacklers, Chad Zerfas for Gloucester High. Pickup of only about a yard on the play. It'll be second down and 9.
Bob, one of the things earlier on we were talking about the first half and the success that Gloucester was having, holding Glassboro to only one score, is the job they did in the secondary. Let's see if Glassboro adjusts to that and tries to use the underneath passes a little bit more, the screen passes, and be very patient on offense.
Out pass to Holmes, he has it. And Holmes sidestepping his way up to about the 35 for a first down. Good job by Holmes running with the football after catching the ball. He's getting great one-on-one coverage in this game by the Gloucester defenders. Picks up a big reception here for first down to the 35.
That's his third reception of the game so far, 42 yards. Really try to get the ball in his hands and keep running with Kevin Evans.
Straight ahead, and breaking into the clear. Nice yardage on the run this time by Chris Waters. He's a junior. Waters advanced to the 44-yard line. Nice pickup by Chris of 8 yards. It'll be second down and 2 for the Bulldogs. Offense getting in gear as we begin the second half of action here. 10:24 to play in the third quarter. 6-6 tie. Tri-County Conference rivals will meet again on Saturday at Gloucester High. That's their regularly scheduled seasonal game. That game will decide the Tri-County Classic Division title. Evans, some room on the outside, showing that great speed. And he'll get first down and a lot more. Now the Glassboro offense really getting in gear as the advance is all the way down to the Gloucester 36-yard line. Another big first down pickup for Evans, who's having a big ball game for the Bulldogs.
We talked about how well he sees the entire field, uses blockers. He had Terrence Holmes in front of him trying to spring a block for him so he could go the distance. Kevin Evans just does everything right for the Bulldogs. Now, outstanding back who just seems like a coach's dream. He just makes plays for this team.
Holmes can't catch this one. It's out of bounds, and Holmes not expecting that kind of a throw from Sakeen Wright. It'll be incompleted, second down and 10. They try that play often today, and it usually works for pretty good yardage, but this one uncatchable by Holmes.
He's 6 foot and has tremendous hops. And he's a basketball player, Bob. I don't think he could get up that high.
A lot of these Glassboro players will be getting ready for the basketball season in a couple of weeks. And Sakeen Wright is as good a basketball player, some people think, as he is a football player. Second down and 10, ball at the 36-yard line with 9:39 to play in the third. Right straight. He will run out of the pocket and then drop for a loss on a good shoestring tackle. Nice tackle on the play by John Rutan. It'll be third down and 12 and a 2-yard loss. He is not an easy guy to tackle, but that was a good tackle.
Yeah, nice job by John Rutan. Anytime you can bring down Sakeen Wright by yourself, that's a nice tackle, because this guy just sheds blockers. That's what, some of the success that he has is when it's a busted play. He'll shed a couple blockers, allow his receivers to get open, and makes the big play downfield.
Loss of 3 back to the 39, be about third down and 13, right? Fires it over the middle, completed to Holmes, twisting, turning, and getting it down to about the 25-yard line. It'll be close to a first down. That is one of the greatest pass combinations in South Jersey history, right to Holmes, and this one gets a first down for the Bulldogs and a third and long to the 25.
And those two worked during the summertime over at Rowan University. What they did was just got their timing down, made sure that they can hit the long strides. One thing Terrence Holmes does extremely well is he runs terrific routes, gets himself in position to catch a football.
Right, going deep, looking for Holmes, but this one will be way out of the end zone, and it looked like he had Holmes turning the wrong way on that pass. I don't know whether he just threw it out of bounds or not, but it was certainly not a catchable ball. Second down and 10.
I don't think they worked on that one during the summertime. Holmes so far with 4 catches on the day. He's the big go-to receiver. Only a junior. He'll be back next year. And he's just an outstanding wide receiver. Make sure that he gets underneath routes, and then what he's able to do after catching the football is what he really hangs his hat on. That's why he has 28 catches, 680 yards, and 11 touchdowns coming into this game.
Oh, Wright gets a big rush, trying to break loose in the tackle, but credit Gloucester High's Dan Welsh with a huge defensive play, sacking Wright for a long loss back to the 39-yard line, and that'll create a third down and very long. Great rush that time with a blitz by Welsh.
Well, Welsh there, you see him, the 5'9", 190-pound junior. He's done a nice job offensively, but there you see his defensive skills coming in off the ball, flying. And one thing the Lions have been able to do is just hang on. Let the secondary man come in and make the hit, but make sure you hang on to Sakeen Wright, because if you don't hang on to him, he's going to make a busted play into a big play.
Needs a big play here, third down and 22 from the 39-yard line. Right. Fires it. Holmes has some blockers. Holmes sidestepping his way, picking his way, and he'll get a lot of the yardage back plus more, but well short of a first down to the 22-yard line. That was a well-designed play, but a good job by the Gloucester defenders of stepping in there and breaking down that big blocking scheme that the Bulldogs had.
I'll tell you what, you always talk about Sakeen Wright and his ability to make the long passes, and people say, he's got an outstanding arm. There he makes the smart play. He allowed the defensive line of Gloucester to come in, waited for him to break, and then throws the screen pass. Just holds on to it for a couple seconds longer, and that's what makes that play work.
Out of the shotgun for the first time on a fourth down and 6. Huge play here. Wright has good protection, going deep, and it's knocked away. A touchdown-saving block in the end zone, and Gloucester High will take over on downs, and another good stop by the Lions.
Yeah, he was looking for Jerron Muse, the 6'2" junior, on the left-hand side, but the ball seemed to hang up there a little bit, and that might be some of the timing that you need to get down. And with that 2-week layoff, I think maybe Wright should have thrown that ball a little bit earlier. Muse just waiting for the football to come down. And when you're waiting as a receiver, usually a defensive back's going to come in and knock the ball away. That's what happened for Gloucester, and they were able to get the ball back.
And that was Nigel Rogers with a big defensive play for the Lions. This play going absolutely nowhere. Big stop for the Lions defensively. This one it looked like Glassboro might take the lead. The run by Welsh. Welsh gets about a half a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9, we'll call it. 6:18 to play in the third quarter, so Glassboro used almost 6 minutes off the clock, came away with nothing.
Blankenship comes back into the game. He's in there with Londino. Londino was the most efficient running back in the first half. 2 carries for 25 yards. Look to see Gloucester use him much more in the second half.
Londino can't hang on to that one as he takes a big hit. A big hit from Shamar Robinson. It'll be 3rd down and 9, and the incompleted pass by Cox.
Shamar Robinson missed most of the year, Bob, with an ankle injury, and this is his first game back.
So a big 3rd down call for Gloucester High. It's quarterback Greg Cox. Tried inside, and nice job of running by Welsh, but he will be short of the first down at about the 30-yard line, about a yard and a half short, and that will force Gloucester to punt.
Defense is dominating here, Bob. Marvin Slomsky Field, who would have thought it? People thought this was going to be a fairly high-scoring game, but so far a couple of mistakes by Gloucester in the first half. And a nice job defensively by the Lions in the secondary to hold Glassboro to only a touchdown so far.
The versatile Lou and Merrifield punting for Gloucester High. It's a good snap. And not a real good punt. Oh, mistake here. Oh, boy. Does Gloucester cover? No. Holmes, very gifted Terrence Holmes, fumbled that punt. Probably an ill-advised decision to try to pick it up and run with it. Then he fumbled the ball, but was able to cover. So Gloucester High takes over with good field position from its own 46-yard line. They were fortunate there, Shawn.
Yeah, he looks a little aggravated a little bit in this game, does Terrence Holmes. Not able to do everything that he's able to do during the regular season because Gloucester's done a nice job. And there he just makes a mistake, trying to make something happen. Has the presence of mind to reach out with his left hand and pull that ball in. I think he's trying to do a little bit too much. He's got to be patient and let the game come to him.
There'll be a dead ball foul here. I guess that it's going to be against Gloucester unless he was pulled.
The 4th penalty of the game.
Defense.
Offsides against Gloucester. That will take Glassboro into Gloucester territory at the 49-yard line. 1st down and 5.
Both teams with 2 penalties, only 10 yards for both teams. So
very clean game.
Very clean game for both teams. I think that's a byproduct of the coaches on the sidelines.
Absolutely. Tremendous coaches. Leon Harris, Bob Clary, and great staffs behind them, too. 1st down and 5. The pitch to Evans. Evans leads one tackler, cuts it back inside, but twisting, turning, but good pursuit that time by the Gloucester defense. And they will throw Evans for a loss. A number of tacklers in on the play. Joe Hartzell was among them from Gloucester, but he had a lot of help on the play, including John Costinzio.
Now, one thing Leon Harris had to see from Glassboro is their ability to break tackles, and sometimes defenders will be lackadaisical. What they'll do is they'll say, all right, the defensive end's got him, that guy's got him wrapped up, he's down for a loss. One thing Gloucester's been able to do here in this game is they're making sure that they're swarming to the football and not allowing them big plays to occur.
2nd and 8. Evans with the catch. Evans with some blockers. Evans has a chance to go break. He's still on his feet. He may go. Evans cuts it back inside. Evans touchdown run of 54 yards. His 2nd score of the game, and Glassboro High School takes the lead at 4:06 of the 3rd, 12-6. A well-designed play and a great job of open field running by Kevin Evans. He had a huge ball game.
Something that we were looking at in the first half. Now they've made the adjustment. In the first half, they're going for the long passes down the field, looking for Terrence Holmes. Kind of frustrating the junior. Now they say, all right, let's go underneath. Try to let our big play receivers like
Terrence Holmes and the running back coming out of the backfield, Kevin Evans, catch the ball and make a big play. There is able to pick up a 51-yard touchdown reception is Kevin Evans. He's been a weapon so far in this game, and the difference for the Bulldogs.
Interesting decision here. They're going to go for the 2-point conversion with a 12-6 lead, but now they're going to call timeout. Let's watch this touchdown play, an extremely well-designed play, but watch Evans on this one.
And this is what Sakeen Wright does. With his ability to break tackles, he's going to wait a couple extra seconds and let the play develop. Kevin Evans coming underneath with a wall of blockers in front of him. Makes a nice cut to the outside, and you see where he sees the field extremely well. Makes the cut, breaks the tackle, and then here he's going to have the presence of mind to cut back to the left. You have your defender off balance there. He goes right into the end zone. A nice piece of running by Kevin Evans, the senior.
Credit to play calling on that one too, Shawn. That was just a well-designed play, beautifully done. Let's see if the Bulldogs are talking about this. They use a timeout to talk about it. They went up 12-6. They missed the extra point. Holmes is one of the best extra point kickers in South Jersey with 37 of 44 now after that first half miss. So I guess they're deciding whether they want to make it, try to make it a 13-6 game or go for 2, 14-6, and that would force a 2-point conversion try by Gloucester if they should score again. They're going to stay with the plan here to go for 2 points and really put the pressure on the Lions if they score. Wright rolling, has some room. Wright looking for the end zone, and he will waltz in untouched. And that was an easy one for Glassboro, and that really puts a lot of pressure on Gloucester because now it's an 8-point ball game. 14-6 with 4:06 to play in the third quarter, and that looked like the Glassboro offense we've all been hearing about all season long, Shawn.
Well, they get the big strike to Kevin Evans. One of the reasons, Bob, they might not went for the extra point is during the first half, both teams scored going on this end of the field. The wind's facing both of the kickers. Now, I know Terrence Holmes has the foot, but the wind seems to have picked up a little bit. Looking at the flag now, it might be a little bit stronger, and maybe that might have something to do with Bob Cleary's play calling, but nonetheless, nice job in short yardage situation. You saw Kevin Evans waltz into the end zone in the first half behind Ed Bugard and Isaac Chapman. Doing the same there. Same thing there was Sakeen Wright on the quarterback keeper off the left-hand side.
Evans has a chance to have one of those rare 100-100 games. Shawn, you read his stats after the first half. He is close to 100 yards rushing, and he's close to 100 yards receiving.
If my stats are correct, we have 98 yards rushing for Kevin Evans and 87 yards receiving.
Holmes with the kick. Bounces at about the 18, picked up at the 17-yard line. And an outstanding open field tackle on specialty teams by Ralph McBride, a junior for the Bulldogs. And now the Lions find themselves trailing for the first time in the football game, 14-6.
Now for Leon Harris, I know coming out of that, or just towards the end of the first half, you had your quarterback, maybe his confidence kind of slumping a little bit, throwing the interception, nearly going back for a touchdown. I think you have to go with what you've been successful with here. A nice crisp passes underneath for 10 yards, and the running on with Dan Walsh and Blankenship and Blondino.
Blankenship with the carry, but no yardage.
See what happens is if you get away from the pass, then the linebackers start pushing in a little bit. Now Glassboro, those 3-4 yard pushes that Gloucester was able to have in the first half are going for no yardage now because Glassboro does not respect the passing game of Cox. I think you have to now, because of the interception at the end of the first half, the confidence of the secondary is a little bit high right now for Glassboro. You want to put them back on their heels a little bit with maybe a couple of completions early on.
No gain, second down and 10, ball at the 21-yard line. Hand off to the fullback. Come on! And pretty good yardage up to about the 33-yard line. And a new ball carrier for the Lions that time, Desmond Chiotti. That is a famous football name at Gloucester High, the Chiotti name.
Sure is.
Some tremendous Chiottis over the years. And way back to my era when I was sports editor back in the 60s, John Chiotti was one of the best high school players I ever saw.
Oh, yeah, there's some Chiotti, and they're big guys, too, Bob. Very big guys. There's a couple guys that are picking the scales, some Chiottis, and 280 and just all muscle.
Big down here for Gloucester and a movement in the line, and appears to be an offsides call against Glassboro, but we'll wait for referee John Winterberg's call.
Dead ball. Defense. Offside.
So that'll give Gloucester High a first down at the 38-yard line, and I believe that's their first down here in the second half, Shawn.
Yeah, that's an important first down for him. You know, against a team like Glassboro, you come in as the underdog and they go up on you. You really want to try to establish a nice drive, especially after they score. So they're able to pick up this first down. Now let's see what they do in the play calling here. As I said, I like them short passes.
Blankenship, little running room.
Blankenship has really not had the success that he's had in previous games. Coming in, he had 673 yards, 6.5 yards per carry. In this game, he came in only 39 yards coming into the second half.
But this was Londino in this carry, then.
Londino not able to go anywhere as Glassboro just shoving him back. That defensive line is really gaining the edge here in the second half.
Welsh, and that goes nowhere. So that Glassboro defensive interior is starting to get to the ball carrier quickly. As Rashawn Pruitt led the tacklers that time, and it'll be third down and about 7 for Gloucester with 1:25 to play here in the third quarter. 14-6 lead for Glassboro as the Bulldogs try for their 21st consecutive victory over 2 seasons and looking for a berth in the finals against either Paulsboro or Burlington City. Cox rolling, gets a big rush on the opposite side, guns it nicely. Evading one tackler is Merrifield for another yard or 2. I like Lou Merrifield, real good football player, Shawn, and he gets a first down here for the Lions inside Glassboro territory to the 45, and I like the arm on Mr. Cox, too.
Yeah, you have to like Cox and Merrifield. Merrifield, 11 touchdowns coming into this game, 458 yards and 26 receptions, having himself another nice game today. And he had a brother, George Merrifield, who was part of that 1998 team, who Leon Harris says one of the best teams that he's coached. An outstanding line. George Merrifield was one of the guards on that team. He had another outstanding player, Luke Bennett, who was the center for that Gloucester team.
35 seconds and counting here in the third quarter. And a little misfired play there is going to turn into a couple of yards for the Lions as Cox makes pretty good yardage out of what appeared to be a busted play down to the 40-yard line.
Nice awareness by Cox to try and pick up a couple of yards.
He gets 5 on a busted play. It'll be second down and 5, and that could be the final play of the third quarter. So Glassboro High School looking to win this semifinal game and advance to the finals has had its work cut out for itself today as the Lions have played well. We've played 3 quarters from Glassboro High School to score. Glassboro 14 and Gloucester 6. 12 minutes to go. Shawn, Leary, and Bob Shryrock at Marv Slomsky Field, Glassboro High School. And Glassboro, it's 14-6 over Gloucester High in a hard-fought Group 1 semifinal game. Second down and 6 to start fourth quarter. Straight ahead and lots of running room for David Smith. Still on his feet and battling. Good job by Smith. Gets first down and a lot more. So the Lions driving down deep into Glassboro territory at the 25-yard line. First down and 10.
Nice job there by Smith. You see Gloucester's depth at running back. We've seen Londino, Welsh, Blankenship, Smith. They've even mixed in Merrifield and Huntsinger on the outside. So they have the ability to have a lot of weapons, does this Lion team. And you see why they've been able to compile the record that they have.
Oh, what a hit. The hit of the ball game right there. Oh, wow, what a hit by Shamar Robinson. That is the hit of the ball game for a 1-yard loss back to the 26-yard line, second down and 11.
Hello. Wow. Shamar Robinson, welcome back, as he's going to just knife right through the Gloucester offensive line and greet David Smith as soon as he touches the football. Oh. Bang! What a hit.
That hurt up here.
Robinson.
Second down and 11. Firing quick out, and it's caught. A great catch by Merrifield for very short yardage, but he is a fine receiver, Merrifield. And he does get about 5 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 5. The spot at the 20-yard line.
Bob, that touchdown by Glassboro was the first points that Gloucester has let up this year in the 3rd quarter. That was the first time that the Lions have allowed a point in the 3rd quarter.
That's right. It was 63-0 before that. 3rd down and 5 call for the Lions. Ball at the 20. Straight back, fires it over the middle. Incomplete. Yeah, you know what? I think it's a good call, but it's a late flag, Shawn. That's why everybody's happy. I saw a push off.
A late flag, but they were trying that quick hitter that they were able to pick up a couple of first downs in the first half with. That time Kevin Evans got tangled up with Merrifield, and it's going to cost Glassboro and give the Lions another first down, but a very good call as Merrifield was hold on the flag.
Yeah, I think the call was right. I just think the flag was right, that's all.
Yeah, it was a little late.
Half the distance, automatic first down.
So Gloucester, if they're allowing the touchdown, coming back and driving here on the Bulldogs.
Great response by the Lions, and it'll be first down and goal. The ball just inside the 10-yard line, so we are 10-19 of the 4th quarter, and the Bulldog defense now being tested as the Lions try to get it even with a touchdown and 2-point conversion.
They've mixed in the pass, and I think that's going to open up the run down here near the goal line.
Fox fires it. It's complete. Oh, it's dropped. It was in the hands of David Smith. Couldn't hang on. It'll go as an incompleted pass. He was close to the goal line too, but it's incompleted. 2nd down and goal from about the 9-yard line.
Cox really zips that pass out there on the out pattern. You're going to see him here. He's just going to use the play fake. A nice call by Harris as they had Smith open on the outside to pick up some yardage. He's going to zip it out there right into the hands, and it looked like he was looking up a little bit at the 2 defenders closing in on him. Not able to come up with a catch.
Yeah, great camera work too. Our crew's doing a terrific job here today under the direction of Stan Ritter and the whole great crew from Comcast. Fired over the middle. Oh, almost picked off by Holmes, and he's thinking 100-yard interception return. Can't hang on to it. Oh, that could have been the ball game right there. He had nothing but open field, John.
Nothing but open field, and it looked like number 8, that's Hunsinger, was just standing there, not coming back to the football. Nice job by Holmes to read Cox on the 2-step drop. And almost
Holmes will catch that ball, Shawn, 99 out of 100 times. That was the 100. Clear sailing if he catches that one. 3rd down and goal, ball at the 9-yard line. Again, quick out pass and incompleted. Good coverage this time by Evans, so that'll bring up a 4th down, a critical 4th down and 9 call for the Lions of Gloucester High with 10:05 to play in the 4th quarter.
I think there's no doubt they're trying to go for the touchdown here. It would still give Glassboro the ball at the 9-yard line if you don't make it. But a field goal don't help you here. And the way Glassboro scores points, if they get another touchdown on you, you almost have no shot of getting back.
Could be the ball game right here. 4th down and 9 for the Lions. Fires it, and it's a bad pass. One of the few bad passes Cox has made today, and that'll cost him because the ball will turn over to Glassboro High School.
And it was an extremely bad pass. They had Ian James out there along with Scott Hillman. They had 2 receivers out there and only Ralph McBride on coverage. So they had 2 receivers on 1 cornerback, and just taking his time. If Cox would have just taken his time, he would have been able to make the touchdown pass there. Just a poor indecision by the quarterback. Maybe just pulled the string a little bit too quick on that play.
1st down and 10, ball at the 9-yard line for Glassboro. Evans, he's had a big ball game, twisting his way, trying to get out of the grasp of defenders, but gets only about a yard in the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9. I just picked a 50-50 number, Shawn, and I'm sorry to report I did not pick my own number.
Well, Bob, that's becoming a habit with you, I think.
I know. I'm on a 62-year-old streak.
I like the call anyway, though, Bob. They tried to get the passing game working, and I think that should open up the running game. Still, plenty of time left in this game with 9:26 if they're able to hold them here, get the ball back. I think Gloucester's offense to do the job against Glassboro.
Wright has a man wide open, and he hits him. He hits Waters, and Waters in the open field. Waters breaking tackles, breaks another tackle, and finally driven down from behind at about the 42-yard line. An enormous play. A 49-yard play gets Glassboro out of deep in its own territory. Injured Glassboro player back at about the 7-yard line. And that is number 2, Gary Holmes. But that's going to come back apparently, Shawn. Look at this. This call will be a huge call against Glassboro, it looks like.
This will be a huge call against Glassboro after the big play to Waters. Waters coming out of the backfield, the fullback, able to pick up huge chunks of yardage after the catch. You see all these Glassboro Bulldogs, after they catch the football, they're able to get up 15, 20, 30 yards after the catch with cutting the ball back across the field. Something
got a clip on the offense. At the 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, the play results in a first down.
Still a first down. It was a clip. Glassboro fans clearly don't like that one, but it negates a 49-yard completion from Wright to Waters. Nonetheless, the Bulldogs get out of the shadow of their own goalpost and at least do get a first down.
You see the Gloucester schedule here. They had a couple of losses later in the year to Gloucester Catholic and the Hun School, but then able to pick up the big win against Salem, 47-6 after beating him in the first game, 34-13. We see those first 3 or 4 games, they really made their mark. The defense allowing 13-8-0-0. So they didn't really have the headlines. You didn't hear a lot about the lines because of Glassboro, because of Paulsboro in the county. A lot of teams really making huge names for themselves this year. Gloucester Lions really put together a nice season, and you're showing why here today, playing tough football against a very good Bulldog team.
Evans twisting, turning up to about the 32-yard line. Nice pickup by Evans.
And that puts him over the 100-yard mark for the day.
I think you might get a game ball from me for this one today. 32-yard line, pickup of 7 on the play, second down and 3, 8:35 to play. So the net gain on that long pass to Waters was only 14 yards, but at least got a first down.
Official time. Back in the huddle.
Second and 3 for the Bulldogs, who lead at 14-6. Right. Bit of a miscommunication on the handoff that time, and the first tackle was made by that outstanding sophomore for Gloucester High, Vince Landino. He had a bunch of tackles today.
Another good sophomore that they really like, defensive end and tight end, 6'1", 170 sophomore. That's Rob Keefe.
Would you believe that I picked a 50-50 winner from Gloucester High, and the Glassboro fans are not thrilled with me, Shawn?
No, they're not. Just as long as they don't throw anything at you, because I'm right next to you.
I'm going to have to sneak out of here today.
I got my new jacket on today, Bob, so I don't be hit with any tomatoes or anything.
You do look spiffy, I'll say that. Third down and 2. And Wright keeps it and drives ahead and gets the first down. Nice, safe call. Gets Glassboro a first down. They're trying to maintain possession now. Run time off the clock, protecting this 8-0 lead. Of course, we're going to get another score, too.
7:30 now left in the game. And the Lions need a big stop here. I mean, I don't know if they need a turnover, but they need to stop this Glassboro offense and try to get the ball back. There you see Glassboro. Here at the beginning of the year, they played against a couple of tough teams, Kingsway and Appomattox. Potomac, a good football team. But there you see their schedule against Shalleck, Pennsville, Salem, just rolling up big numbers against teams that really weren't tested. So they come out in this game a little flat, and it might have something to do with just the scheduling of facing the weaker opponents later on in the year.
Joe Hartzell in the middle of that Gloucester line makes the first stop on Evans. And about a yard gain on the play. It'll be second down and 9. Ball at the 39-yard line, but the clock now becoming Gloucester High's biggest concern. 6:40, 6:39 clock running. Glassboro, which has had one of its toughest tests of the season today. In a battle, no question about that. To Holmes, picking his way. Holmes drives for extra yardage. He's dangerous on that play. This one advances the ball to the 45-yard line, where it'll be third down and about 3. Now, Gloucester High, Shawn, needs a defensive stop real soon.
Yeah, they sure do. I mean, now with the clock almost under 6 minutes to play in the third down, they need to get really hyped over there. I mean, the sideline is very quiet. This is a big third down. You're in the semifinal of the South Jersey playoffs against Glassboro. You got to get really pumped up and use the emotion to your advantage. Otherwise, Glassboro can just run away with this game.
Wright, oh, what a fake, and still on his feet, driving ahead. Wright, look at this play by Wright on sheer effort. He gets the first down and buys Glassboro another 4 downs at crunch time, and that was nothing but athletic ability.
I've never seen a team that breaks the amount of tackles that Glassboro does. There's so many guys that are wrapped up on their legs, and you just can't hold on to them. They slip through tackles and pick up first downs, important first downs, keeping the drive alive. And usually these type of drives, when Glassboro is able to maintain a drive, picking up a couple of first downs on sheer athletic ability, usually comes a big play somewhere thereafter.
First and 10, ball at the 49. Evans gets the pitch. Evans with a nice run, pulling ahead to about the 45-yard line. He'll get about 5 on the play. It'll be second down and 5. And again, that clock's still moving, just like Glassboro wants it to move. 5:10 to play. In regulation, of course, if it ends in a regular a tie in regulation, then it goes to overtime. Somebody's got to win this football game. No ties allowed in the tournament. Second and 5. Waters, not a whole lot of room. He'll get only about a yard. Another situation where Gloucester High has to make a stop here. 4 minutes, 35 seconds to play, and they're running out of chances. The defense has to do the job here for the Lions.
It'll be interesting to see if they look towards Terrence Holmes here. At about 3rd and 4, if they try another screen. The screens have worked very effectively for the Bulldogs. Terrence Holmes has really been the guy who can get you there 5-6 yards and a quick hitter.
Wright breaks one tackle, breaks another. Holt right in the open. He could go all the way to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. He's in the end zone for the touchdown. Kareem Wright with a touchdown run at the 3:58 mark, giving Glassboro a 20-6 lead, and that could seal Gloucester's doom. And there's that great athletic ability again, Shawn.
Glassboro should move on to the finals with that run. There were 4 Gloucester Lions who touched him before that first down mark. So there you have it. 4 guys touch Shaquem Wright, but you can't grab him by the ankles. This guy is too strong. These Bulldogs are too strong in their legs. They keep their legs moving, pick up the extra yardage, and once you're grabbing for the ankles, they'll just slip by you. And with the speed that they have, get it to the outside, touchdown.
Now Holmes will try to make it 21-6 out of placement. Made one today, but he's made 37 on the season. Good snap, good strong kick, and this one is good. It's 21-6. For Glassboro High at the 3:58 mark of the 4th quarter, and that one could do it for the Bulldogs. But what a gifted athletic play by Shaquem Wright, who shows us today he can do it with his arm and with his feet.
Now, I want you to watch Shaquem Wright. When he makes this fake and sees an open space, he goes upfield, but Gloucester's not able to get really a good wrap on him. They're not able to get a good stick, just going for the ankles. Once you go for his ankles, forget about it. This guy's 215 pounds, stands 6'3", extremely strong. You're not going to be able to tackle him that way.
Getting some looks from Division I schools. Of course, a great basketball player as well. Of course, amazing thing about him, Shawn, is the story of Shaquem Wright, and not playing until his junior year because of the benign tumor in his brain. I mean, a young man went through a lot, and he's been able to give Glassboro High School 2 great years when a lot of people thought he'd never play.
It's just an inspirational story. We've had this on Comcast a couple of times where he came back from a tumor that really kept him sidelined, sitting in the stands, watching this, biting at his lips, saying, God, I wish I could be out there playing with some of my friends, Terrence Holmes, Kevin Evans, Julian Worley, who graduated last year. He gets his opportunity to play, and what a surprise he's been. Just an outstanding football player.
Well, this one goes into the end zone as Merrifield fell down trying to retreat for the football. Merrifield doesn't have anything to be ashamed of today, Shawn. The young man has played a great football game. The final game of his high school, or final game of his playoff career for Gloucester High School. Still has another football game, though, Shawn. Remember, these teams meet each other again in 7 days for the Tri-County Conference Classic Division title in their regular season final.
Gloucester will be looking for revenge if they're not able to score a couple of touchdowns here with 3:58 remaining. Now, a very daunted task is Greg Cox is really going to have to make some big plays. He has Merrifield, and he's had an outstanding day, but he also needs to get Hunsinger, the big 6'4" wide receiver, in to make a couple of big catches.
Tough way to play here. Cox has got to throw in every down. This one is batted away. Good job in the middle there as both Greg Keith and Ed Bugard for Glassboro High School went up to bat that ball away.
And Greg Keith comes in as the leading tackler at 67 tackles in this game. Coming into this game, 41 solos and 26 assists. So these Glassboro Bulldogs have made their name offensively, but they have a couple of good defensive players on this team. They're going to need a very good defensive effort in the final if they're going to be playing a tough Paulsboro.
Hard over the middle and almost picked off. Tipped by Raheem Gaines. A good defensive play by Gaines. Be another incompleted pass, 3rd down and 10, 3:49 to go.
Gaines, another big name in football for Glassboro. A lot of good Gaines football players and basketball players for that matter.
So Gloucester High running out of downs, and this may be 4-down territory, even though it's deep in their own territory. Ball at the 20-yard line with a 3rd down and 10. Tough way to play because Glassboro looking for a pass on every play. Cox fires it over the middle, and it's intercepted by Terrence Holmes, his 2nd interception of the football game. Young man does it both offensively and defensively, and you can pretty much rack this one up in the W column for Glassboro High School with 3:42 to go, 21-6 lead, and they have possession at the Gloucester High 37-yard line.
It looks like Glassboro will definitely await the winner of today's game between Paulsboro and Burlington City. Paulsboro is the matchup that everyone wants to see. We just got a report from the truck that it's 57-16, something along those lines. Paulsboro obviously taking it to Burlington City, so
57.
Maybe it could be 30-something. 50-something, 30-something. Nonetheless, it sounds like the Red Raiders are well in hand to have the matchup that everyone has been waiting for. Glassboro and Paulsboro in the finals, Bob. And I think it might be one of the most hyped up finals in the next couple of weeks that you're going to see in recent memory.
Looking forward to it. 2nd down and 6, ball at the 32-yard line with clock running and 3:15 to go. Not been easy today for Glassboro. You got to give Gloucester High a lot of credit. They played very well, particularly in the first half.
Like the Glassboro offensive line took it to Gloucester's in the second half, but
there's Evans.
The opposite in the first half.
Evans getting the corner. Does he stay in bounds? Touchdown. He stayed in bounds. How did he stay in bounds? What a job by Kevin Evans. Touchdown run. Gives Glassboro High School a 27-6 lead, but Evans with a magnificent football game. I don't know how he stayed in bounds walking the tightrope down the sideline, Shawn.
He just seems to, he amazes every time we see him. This kid has really been in the shadows of some of the other outstanding athletes on this Glassboro football team, but has done a really nice job of being that type of role player he was last year. Now he finally gets the chance to show his skills as the primary go-to guy, and he really has not let anybody down. An outstanding athlete, as you already see, with that tightrope along the sidelines, can catch the ball out of the backfield, makes the moves, also runs for a couple of extra yards. This is what he does well. Catches that ball, or is a sweep to the outside, runs straight up, and is able to keep his feet in bounds. Just tremendous balance And again, just like Sakeen Wright, you cannot grab this guy by the shirt and pull him down. You can't hit him. You can't hit him in the ankles and try to hit him, bring him down. He's a guy you have to wrap up and wrap him up quickly, because once he starts moving them feet, he picks up extra yardage.
Holmes did make the extra point. His second PAT of the game, is 39th of the season to lead South Jersey. 28-6. This is going to be one of those scores, Shawn. They're going to look at it in the people are going to look at it in the newspaper and say, one-sided game. Not a one-sided game. It's been a great effort by Gloucester today, but it's all come apart here in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, that's right. I think Gloucester's game plan coming into the game was a good one. The first half, they worked effectively, running the football, mixing in a couple of short passes, keeping Glassboro's offense off stride a little bit with the secondary that they were able to put out there against Terrence Holmes and some of the other Glassboro receivers.
Londino with a
best of them in the second half.
Londino with a 15-yard return from the 5 to the 20-yard line with 2:44 to play in the football game.
We go back to Gloucester at the other end of the field when they were down only by 1 touchdown. Cox had 2 receivers open in the end zone and overthrew both of them when only little Ralph McBride, who stands about 5'5", was out trying to cover both of them.
1st and 10, ball at the 21-yard line. A tough situation for Gloucester down by this much. Expecting to pass on every play. But look at this, into the open at the 50, at the 40. Londino finally pulled out from behind. Now the ball is loose and covered by the Bulldogs. Great job by Londino, but he loses it. And then the recovery, the fumble is made by Charles Harvey. Londino, the sophomore, with just a great run, feels badly about that, but he shouldn't be kicking himself too much. He made a great run.
A nice run there by Londino, but Jerron Muse coming from the backside. You always see that, Bob, when good defenders will come around from the backside and swipe at the football as they're trying to tackle somebody. And there, Jerron Muse was able to do that and strip the football. There's a flag down on the field. But Gloucester, they have to be disappointed with the outcome of this game, but they have some good young players.
After the fumble recovery, we have an unsportsmanlike foul. First down.
So a penalty tacked on after the fumble recovery, taking Glassboro back to the 12-yard line. Unsportsmanlike call, but the Bulldogs now can just run out the clock. 2:31 to go, and all Gloucester can do is stop it a couple times with timeouts. Injured Gloucester player back at about the 30-yard line being attended to. That's a shame for Londino. I know he feels badly, but there's a sophomore we're going to hear a lot about. We're going to take timeout from Glassboro High School. It's all Bulldogs now, 28-6. Bob Track and Shawn, Leary, and Evans trying to break another long one. Evans still on his feet. Evans down the sideline, breaking tackles. What a job by Evans with 38-yard running. Evans is having a career football game today. Young man has been part of the difference in this ball game.
He's been the story. We have a Gloucester line back behind the play who looks to be injured. Speaking of injuries, he's trying to walk it off right now. That's big number 68 for Gloucester. That's John Costinzio, who 6'2", 220-pound senior, who's got to be really bad right now. Not only losing the game, but now having to walk off the field with an injury. I'm a little curious right now that Ralph McBride's in the game, they finally take out Kevin Evans. He picks up that big first down.
38 yards tacked onto his total. Against the combination, he's got to be around the 250-yard mark now, rushing and receiving. 2:19 to go, and it's 28-6. Scoreboard broken, showing 26 instead of 28 for Glassboro, but it is 28-6. Ball at midfield. The Bulldogs can just run out the clock now. 2:13 to go. They'll keep it on the ground. Waters with the carry. Maybe a yard to the 49-yard line. Gloucester a little frustrated. Gloucester struck first. They marched it right down the field and scored. Went ahead 6-0. Played a superb first half. Glassboro scoring late in the first half on Evans' 11-yard run to get it even at 6. But the second half has been all Glassboro, particularly after Glassboro went ahead 14-6 and then stopped Gloucester when it had a chance to answer.
You see the Gloucester's dominance here in the second half, and it makes you wonder, in that first half, was the rust really there for the Bulldogs not playing in 3 weeks? I said Gloucester, but I meant Glassboro.
Waters straight ahead, gets a couple of yards to about the 46-yard line. And we're down to 1:20 to go, and Gloucester High appears not to want to stop the clock, and it's really a moot point this juncture of the game with a 28-6 Glassboro advantage. 3rd down and 6 ball at the 46. They pass out game balls today. Kevin Evans is going to get one for Glassboro High School. He has had one of his best high school games, and he's had a great career. Veteran leadership showing up.
That's what you expect in these types of football games. Gloucester's not short on veteran leadership with Greg Keith on defense and Sakeen Wright and Kevin Evans on offense.
McBride got a couple of yards. It'll be 4th down and 1. The clock moving, 35 seconds to go, and Glassboro High School advancing to the finals in NJSIAA Group 1. They have a chance for the first time in school history to collect back-to-back sectional titles, but it'll be a big challenge. We understand that Paulsboro has prevailed in its game with Burlington City, and that's the dream matchup, the unbeatens, Paulsboro and Glassboro. Could be the final play of the game if they get it off. 10 seconds to go. Wright keeps the football, and he'll go down. That'll do it. So the final score from Glassboro High School. The Bulldogs of Glassboro 28 and the Lions of Gloucester High 6. Glassboro advancing to the NJSIAA Group 1 final game. We'll be back with some interviews right after this. Final score at Glassboro 28 and Gloucester 6. Sounds easy, but Bob Cleary, wasn't easy.
It's never easy against Gloucester. The kids come to play, they play real hard, and they do a hell of a job every year against us.
Was there any rust, you think, in the first half for not playing for 2 weeks, Bob?
I'd rather say we played a good football team rather than have rust.
And they did play well. They came out well. They drove it right down and scored, and they gave you a lot of trouble in the first half.
Yeah, they did. They played very good defense, and they were moving the ball very well. And every series, it seems like they made one big play to get that first down, and that was the difference in the first half. They kept on moving the ball down the field, getting that big play for a first down all the time.
Your defense was under a lot of pressure today, but they really came through, as your defenses have over the years, Bob.
Yeah, the defense is it's hard to tell you, but we're pretty young. We played. We have 4 starters back on offense and 4 starters back on defense. So we got 7 new guys on both sides of the ball. And for being young and inexperienced on playing up there on the line, they're doing a real good job.
You have so many great players at the skill positions. We hear so much about Wright and about Holmes, but what a game today for Kevin Evans.
Kevin's played well every game this year. He's a hell of a ball player, and the only shame of it is he's a senior. We'll have to lose him after this year. And it's going to be hard to replace him and the other seniors also.
Bob, I know you don't particularly like the idea of playing the same team again in 7 days, but at least there's something at stake. You and Gloucester will be playing again at Gloucester High, but the Tri-County Classic Division title at stake that day.
Yeah, next week's the game. There's a championship on the line for the conference. All right, today was the stepping stone to go to the finals in Group 1. But next week it's a championship game because whoever wins that game wins our conference this year.
Just one more year for you, right, Robert?
Yeah, one more after this.
Bob, congratulations on a great win, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Okay, Shawn?
I'm here with player of the game, and Kevin, you had an outstanding game, not only running the football, but catching the ball out of the backfield. The last couple of years, you've been under the shadows of some of the skill position players, Julian Worley to name one of them, the running back who graduated last year. Now this was your time to come out this year and really take a leadership role. How does it feel to come out and play in a big game like that after you've been in the shadow?
It feels good. I mean, I really don't worry about being in the shadow, but I know every game I come out and play hard, and I keep playing hard. It'll show one day.
You have a lot of people coming up and hugging you, and they said, "Yeah, this was your game, and this is your breakout game." Did you feel like this could be your breakout game?
Yeah, because the whole week we were so focused, and we just was going crazy at practice, and I just knew that we were going to have a good game.
How tough is it as a player to get 3 weeks off or a couple of weeks off and then have to come back and play a game?
It's real hard because during 3 weeks, you don't take it seriously. So, I mean, then when the tough games come, I don't think you're ready. But just in practice, we were just focused the whole time, no playing around.
Did you think that had anything to do with the first half?
Yeah, I think so. We weren't ready, and I don't think we were conditioned. We were getting tired, but at halftime, we talked about it, and we knew that we didn't, work hard since August 25th to come out here and lose. So we just came together as a team and pounded them.
It looks like your next matchup is against the Paulsboro team, who has a very big defensive line. Is that a matchup you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm ready. I think my linemen can do it. They've been working hard. They just open holes. Block. If they don't, we go to a passing game. Just play hard.
Well, Kevin Evans, congratulations. An outstanding day, not only running the football, Bob, but also catching a couple of passes out of the backfield. A guy who had a breakout game and really an outstanding player.
Yeah, well, the veteran leadership showed with Kevin today. He played a terrific ball game. But, I talked to Bob about the rust. I suggested there might have been some rust. He said he preferred to say that Gloucester played a good football game. I think he's right about that. But if there was any rust, they certainly got rid of it in the second half.
Yeah, they surely did. One thing that we noticed in the second half, that Glassboro's offensive line was really dominating in the trenches. And once you have that going, especially in a high school playoff game, chances are you're going to score some points. Glassboro was able to do that not only with the blocking up front, but the outstanding athletic plays.
Oh, outstanding. Wright just amazes me with his escapability, and they've got some of the best skill position players on a Group 1 school, a small Group 1 school that I've ever seen, Shawn. Great football team, but give Gloucester High a lot of credit. I don't think we can minimize what they accomplished today.
Yeah, they've had an outstanding year, and to come in to play against a Glassboro team who really was averaging 48.2 yards, or 48.2 points per game, really came in and did a nice job shutting them down. They had a nice game plan in the works, but the athletic ability of Glassboro really came out in the end. Next week, they get to play each other again. The following week after that, Glassboro gets another opponent with Paulsboro. Some really outstanding athletes on that team. So in 2 weeks, the South Jersey Group 1 final, we're going to have a couple of great players.
Yeah, that's going to be a game to remember, I think, on Comcast, Glassboro and Paulsboro in the Group 1 final. So the final score again was Glassboro 28 and Gloucester 6. Glassboro High School winning its 21st consecutive game over 2 years. They qualify for the Group 1 final. For Shawn, Leary, this is Bob Shryrock. Thanks for watching on Comcast.